No, he doesn't. That is a courtesy. That is a tradition. He does not have to concede at all.
And for word economy, you don't have to say political nerd. You could just take that word out.
Can you stop interrupting me? Wimmy from Twitter says, I donated last night to Trump's legal fund. It's all up to us to see that he has the resources necessary to finish this fight. But Libby on the label from Twitter says, just call it already. What are we waiting for at this point? I'm just going to put a button on that speech from Trump if you saw it. Republicans, I'm looking at you, Mitch McConnell. Where are you? This guy's going against your own democracy. Are you for this country or are you for this party that has been changed dramatically? I'll just look into the camera and say that. Well, we're not even done with this election, but already people are talking about 2024. Oy, slow down. Will President Trump run again if he ends up losing? So the president's former chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, says, quote, absolutely. He expects the president to run again if he loses. But can he run again legally? Yes. Turns out there's nothing stopping President Trump from running again for a second term in office in 2024. Quick note, Grover Cleveland was our 22nd and 24th president because he lost in between and Harrison won.
No. Was Harrison that bad?
He wasn't great.
Oh.
So what do you think? Will we see, Jeff, wake up. Will we
see what you did?
Will we see Trump run again in 2024?
From all those viral moments you had at the beginning of the show to putting me to sleep at the end.
It's fascinating. It already happened. There's precedent for it. Will he do it?
I think we have a long way to go in 2020. Can we focus on this right now? Do we need to be talking about Trump in 2024? Let's focus on 2020. We're not even there yet.
You have $10. You have to put a bet. Does Donald Trump run in 2024?
I don't care.
Wow.
I don't care. I'm not worrying about that. Okay. Let's worry about if he wins this election. It's not over yet.
Okay. If you had $10, is he running again?
Yes. I think that power is just like after you have it, you want it again.
I also could see him, and I want to know if you think this is right, owning like a media station, like buying OAN or something like that, making it like Trump News. I could see him doing that as well.
Also in the plan.
Let me ask you this. If Trump happens to not win, are we going to talk about him every day? Is America going to talk? Because a lot of people, I'm not saying you, but are hung up on this guy.
Jeff,
and if we keep giving him camera time, or whoever loses camera time, they're going to be in the news. If they lose.
I agree.
I'll tell you this. I talked to a good friend of mine last night, my buddy Forrest Shaw. He's a writer for Jim Jeffries. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. And he had a really interesting take on that. And I know we got to move on to an important story. But what he was saying about Trump is like, think about Obama. Like everybody loves Obama when they see him wave, oh, there's a cool guy. He was a great president, however you feel about him. But you kind of like, okay, because that power is gone. That's a big difference. But
people are giving him power. People like.
But he doesn't. He won't have the power.
Excuse me. Let me stand up for myself here.
He won't have the power to do anything. He can say, "I'm going to shut that down."
Hold on.
Now it'd be no different than you saying it.
I speak about Trump a lot because he is the president, and I think he changed the Republican Party, and I feel for my conservative friends. But once he's out, you're absolutely right. I don't want to talk. I don't want to even think about all of this again. I really don't. It puts my heart rate up. I have to meditate. There's a lot going on. So trust me, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
All right. I'll take that as a yes. We want to take a moment very quickly to send our best wishes to Al Roker. We're thinking of you on the Today Show this morning. Al Roker announced that he's been diagnosed with prostate cancer. He will be undergoing surgery to have it removed. He said he revealed his diagnosis to spotlight the prevalence of the disease, especially among black men.
My dad had prostate cancer.
Talk about that, Al.
Yeah, I mean, he was diagnosed. It's not really what he passed away from. It was complications from diabetes. My dad was slacking on taking care of himself, but he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. My grandfather, colon cancer. So it is.
My grandfather too.
Right. It is a big deal. But you know, I think that the stigma of getting tested for these, because remember, Jeff, we were going up. It's like, what are you going to go to the doctor in the rubber glove?
Yeah,
it's like,
you two are going to go together.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
What are your plans together?
Yeah, please. Oh, let's do it.
No, I've been saying it every time we come up with one of these stories. It's like another day has gone by.
Let's do it before the end of November.
Let's try. Let's do it.
That's Prostate Awareness Month, I believe. That's why you have Movember, where they grow a beard for that. That'd be great if you two
mustache.
went.
But yeah.
Yeah, the facial hair.
Yeah. But Al Roker, I mean, he's been known now for taking care of himself. So now I would believe he's a guy who gets checked, you know. So all the best to Al Roker. I think he's got a great chance, and we're praying for him here at DBL. He's a great guy.
And he's a part of the American fabric.
Absolutely.
Like he's been in everybody's living room for 30 years, 25 years.
We wish you the best, and we can't wait to see that date. I think it'll help a lot of people.
End of November. That's a promise from Jeff and Al.
Look in the camera's eyes and promise them.
Coming up on DBL, I go one-on-one with former prosecutor and legal expert Nancy Grace. Rob, don't laugh. She's weighing in on the George Floyd case and police reform. Plus, we have to talk about this, y'all. COVID cases are skyrocketing at alarming rates, where the country stands now and why it could get worse later. And we want to thank our coworkers producing that show from home. I want to look into the camera and tell them we love you. We'll be right back. Like it is.
I think it's just social norms. I just blew up your whole argument.
Even when things get a little heated.
Things are crazy right now.
We have to have conversation about this.
What the hell am I being nice for?
You're always gonna see us 100% real.
That's unbelievable, okay?
But it's not just what we think.
We want to hear your opinions.
So join the conversation.
If you disagree with us, that's A-okay.
Not with me.
Because we love talking about what you're talking about.
Yes, we do. Well, welcome back to DBL. With all of the election news this week, news about the coronavirus pandemic has taken a bit of a backseat, but this fall surge is getting worse. So yesterday, the U.S. saw more than 120,000 new cases. That's in one day. It smashed the previous day's record of more than 100,000 new cases. Hospitalizations are also up, with at least 52,000 people currently in the hospital being treated for the disease. Let's go to our map here. All across the country, hospitalizations are on the rise, with very few exceptions. Experts are now saying that if nothing is done now, this is only going to get worse. So if Joe Biden ends up winning the election, what do you think he'll do differently? Al, what do you think day one Joe Biden does differently than, let's say, what we have so far?
Well, obviously it won't be day one. He'll be putting his stuff on his desk. But eventually, I do think that there will be some kind of fine for not wearing a mask. Not outside, but any place in public. And that means just like, like bars sometimes will show a fight that they shouldn't show and they'll get fined. I think there'll be people going into public places and finding the establishment and finding the person.
Before I read the end of that, or I saw the end of that script, I was like, well, what Joe Biden going to do differently if, again, we don't know.
Of course.
If he gets in there, what is he going to do differently?
A national mask mandate, perhaps? I mean, that's the first thing you do. Make everyone wear a mask all the time, like a seatbelt, and if it doesn't work...
I would think it would be the same thing as what they did with smoking.
Yeah, it's
there
very
had to be
simple.
bars
It
that were
becomes
like,
normalized.
you can smoke in this bar. This is Al Jackson's bar. And eventually you keep getting dinged a couple times, couple $15,000 fines. Guess who's not smoking in your bar? And I think that's what's going to happen is they're going to put the onus, unfortunately, on the establishment and probably
that's
the person violating it.
Well, I still think that, you know, we've gone this whole week. It's Friday now, and we haven't mentioned COVID once when the numbers are the highest they've been in a long time.
Jeff, people
but I
don't
thought we
care.
were America first here. But let's all worry about hating this person and not liking this person and this. Like, it's just our priorities are so backwards here that it's like it's
about
frustrating and
politicization. Politicization, am I saying that right?
Kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, and it's about winning, Jeff.
And it's frustrating.
What's in that?
We're losing. Americans are losing.
Well, Herman Cain died, and his dead Twitter feed came up and said, "I'm cool, no masks."
Yeah, well,
literally to the grave.
Let me
people
just
are
give you
taking
guys
this, Jeff,
this.
and it's so weird.
Let me give you this this crazy fact. New COVID cases, right? In the United States, 120,048. That was today. That was yesterday, obviously. Japan, 103,000 over the entire pandemic. That's crazy.
People don't care.
Coming up on DBL, part 2 of my interview with legal pro Nancy Grace. I'm getting her thoughts on police reform in the wake of the George Floyd case. If you thought part 1 was intense, wait till you see this.
If you have Medicare,
Welcome back to DBL. Nancy Grace is back with a new book encouraging you to protect yourself against a crime. Well, it's coming out at a time when many Americans are demanding police reform. So I had to ask Nancy to weigh in. That is in part 2 of Chatting with the Stars. Welcome, Nancy Grace, to Daily Blast Live. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Your new book, titled Don't Be a Victim, is a call to action for people to take protection into their own hands. All right, well, in your new book, you share that a big part of being prepared is knowing when to contact authorities. This is so important for so many people, especially people of color. There's a situation here called defunding the police. What do you feel about that, Nancy? Do you think we should do that? Reallocate funds to sort of social services, mental health, and better help the taxpayers' money be better spent?
I've been on the scene of so many violent felonies where literally seconds count. I don't know if you've ever been on a crime scene and seen multiple dead bodies.
No.
But I have. And I've been at their autopsies as well. When lives are in danger, you don't want to call 911 and get a social worker to come talk down the bullet. Now, I think defunding the police is ridiculous. I do, however, think that police that commit police brutality, such as against Mr. George Floyd.
Yeah.
I think those police need to be charged with a murder. I don't believe it should be left up to internal affairs where somebody gets a desk job for the rest of their career until they retire. I think when you commit a crime, whether you're wearing a badge or not, you have a date with Lady Justice and go in front of a jury.
Amen on that. I totally agree with you. Talk to me about George Floyd. We saw 8 minutes and 46 seconds, in my mind, of a murder right in front of our faces.
Relax. Man, I can't breathe my face.
Do you think the officers were properly charged? As you said, you think this is a murder and you think it should go not to internal affairs and being kept by sort of the blue line, as people say. How do you feel about that whole situation?
I believe that all of the officers involved should be charged with a murder.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. You've been asking me about defunding. I do not think we need to defund police. Let's just say you and I decide to rob a bank. We go in and suddenly I get a wild hunt here and I shoot the teller dead. Guess what, little girl? You're gonna be charged with murder too, because we were in it together. I know it was Chauvin with his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck, but the others were there too. They were part of it. They all need to be tried together, and let's watch them do this at trial and blame each other. Those 3 cops need to face murder charges.
Wow. Let me just point out the obvious too. We're 2 white women, right, talking about our point of view about the legal system, but for a lot of people of color, the legal system isn't colorblind. How do you feel when people say it's a public health crisis for black men who are more likely to be shot 2.5 times with the police? What do you respond to that and say, is it all just the law, or do you see that there's a color issue with the law and police?
In all my legal career, where I prosecuted nothing but felonies in inner city Atlanta, the vast majority of the victims and their families that I represented were black. The other side of that coin, the large percentage of police officers that I put on the stand as witnesses, also representing those victims, were black. No one can ignore the statistics. Clearly, people of color are being arrested more than other people. And we have long been arguing that needs to be examined and fixed.
I appreciate you saying that. Nancy Grace, it's been difficult and fun and wonderful. Thank you so much for talking to Daily Blast Live. You can buy her book, Don't Be a Victim. I'll be buying it on bookstore shelves now. Nancy, it was really an honor to meet you. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Thank you for inviting me.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The bladder.
Welcome back to DBL. If you have travel plans this holiday season, don't forget each state has different COVID-19 protocols in place. So we're chatting about them in today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. Many states are still requiring you to self-quarantine for 14 days before visiting or leaving, like Illinois, Kentucky, and New Mexico. Get this, in Kansas, they won't let you in if you've been to North Dakota recently. You'll need to quarantine for 2 weeks. But in New York, they recently announced that out-of-state travelers can actually opt out of the mandatory quarantine if they report a negative COVID test before visiting and arriving. Once it comes to traveling for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
It's good to know, because I saw Illinois on there. That's where I'm originally from, right? And I wanted to go see my parents. But how do they monitor that? Like, if you get an airline ticket, you have to wait 2 weeks before you leave. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really get that part either. But I do like that they're taking steps. I'm sure we can Google that and figure that out, but I'm in the same boat as you. I don't get how, like, am I supposed to land in, like, Illinois and then get a hotel for 2 weeks?
Yeah, how does that work? At some point,
all the people traveling, how are they going to monitor that?
Right. At some point, I think we need a registry for tracing.
You mean someone to take charge?
Maybe. DBL's new every day. We'll see you on Monday, same time, same place. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.